didn't like women. He was pretty like, and he had this beliefs. He wanted to go to medical school because he wanted to create artificial wombs because he wanted to make women like useless because he believed women were only useful for procreating. If he can figure out a way to create artificial wombs, it would make women useless for society. So he went to medical school to create
That's
these
so
things.
sick.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Although it reminds me of the like how some
Yeah.
women of the like opposite side perhaps they say that men are useless.
Yeah, men are
that-
useless. Exactly. You
because
know what's
the-
funny?
Yeah,
There was actually like these guys on YouTube would just
it's
go
so
to
sad.
yeah they would go to women and they would say like, do women need men? And all the women would say no, we don't. And then would men need women? All the men would say yes. So like in normie society, women are more anti-men than men are anti-women. Just like if you just talk to them, like most women would say we don't need men, you know.
Well, that's because
So
of
there's, like,
maybe
women-
feminism.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, that's a feminist stuff.
it's so sad. I think
yeah.
I think it's a scheme. Like it's actually by design. It has become this way because people are easier to control if you break up
pretty
their
much.
groups. So if you have the family unit, right, you have a strong union between men and women. You know that they stick together. If you
Yeah.
if you manage to break them up into smaller pieces, they're gonna be easier to control individually.
Yeah.
And I do believe that people want to control the world. There are people that want to do that
Yeah.
for money, power, and influence. And yeah,
Yeah, kind of like the sort of like Carl, I forgot that guy's name, but Schwab,
Klaus Schwab, Klaus Schwab, yeah.
Klaus,
For example, and other rich individuals like George Soros, who has a
Right.
very particular vision for the world that he wants to do in a certain way that might not always go together with the opinions of a democratic country. So he will find other ways to do it, whether it's through money, lobbying,
yeah,
buying politicians, or non-profit organizations that promote certain causes like multiculturalism or things like that, so that he
Yeah.
gets his vision through against the will of the people.
yeah.
But
I know like James Lindsay talks about it. I know there's they kind of support open borders and kind of like woke progressive movements, but like it's not right to call them like communist per se because they're not really into that. It's almost like a progressive capitalism or like a woke capitalism. That's a part of it as well. Like it's almost like a maybe anti-nationalism, woke capitalism type of thing.
but let's stay on the topic of
Yeah,
men
yeah.
and women
Yeah,
for
yeah.
now, because it can get too much and too complicated.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I just wanted to say that, like men and women are different, yes, and that's like a beautiful thing, that we complement each other. And
Yeah.
like I believe feminism is just a lie because it forces women to compete on areas which aren't their strengths, right? It forces women to compete on the strong areas of men, which is in itself anti-women. Like the genders are different and the sexes are different, and they complement each other to create something beautiful as a whole. That's what I believe.
Yeah, it's sort of like they're complementary to each other.
Yeah, so we should be a team.
And, yeah,
you know?
yeah. And I think, a lot of the ideologies are kind of like separating that because, yeah, it is kind of hard, if you're a woman and you have that sort of like pro-woman, because the problem is that like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to identify based on gender. Because even for me, I don't want to be like I'm pro-man because I don't look at a guy and think I have anything in common with them. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing to do.
I mean, you do. You are in the same group.
Yeah, I
But
am.
just because you're
yeah.
pro-men or pro-women doesn't mean you have to be against the other gender.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the.
like I'm sure you
against
can
it.
appreciate a guy's
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
A night with the guys.
yeah. I can appreciate like maybe like a healthy version of kind of like you can be proud of being a man, but also be proud of being a woman, and you
Sure.
can kind of and kind of embrace the maleness or the womanness and those like aspects of.
I mean, I just think it's like we talked about earlier. Like it's just two groups, right? Just as
Yeah.
you have religious groups, you have your family, you have your community.
Mhm.
Like it's nothing wrong with feeling like things in common with your group. So like you can have a boys' night out, then you
Yeah.
can come home to your wife and like give her a big kiss and feel great with her again, and she can have a ladies' night. There's nothing wrong with that, and you don't have to. Just because you're different doesn't mean you have to hate each other.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And I think most marriages are like that. There
Yeah.
are. It's really a lot of feminists are unmarried women. There's a big difference between married and unmarried women. A a lot of unmarried women tend to be more like into the feminist, that aspect of feminism, like third
Sure.
wave feminism.
Yeah.
That's more like anti-male and stuff.
Maybe the same for men though. A lot of the anti-women men, or maybe the
Yeah.
incels.
They're definitely unmarried, yeah,
Yeah, because they're
Definitely
resentful
unmarried men.
because they
Yeah.
they weren't
pretty much.
enough.
Yeah, they're kind of resentful, and it is unmarried. It is unmarried, yeah, men, and
Although
Yeah.
it's for different reasons, right? Because in
Yeah.
society, women are gonna be the choosers. So
Yeah.
they're if the men don't get selected, then they're gonna become
Yeah.
resentful. Whereas
much.
I wouldn't understand why a woman wouldn't choose to like why would a woman dislike men so much that she doesn't want to be with one?
yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because
Because she has the option.
yeah, she has options because they've done a bunch of studies on this on,
Yeah.
on like Tinder matches. Like
Yeah.
women, like they way more likely to swipe left than right because they're more choosy on Tinder. They were more likely to get dates from men. It's much harder. So yeah, like
And like
it
how
is
women date like
Yeah, like
in
hypergamy,
in
yeah.
like was it across
yeah,
and above,
across and above, yeah,
while men date across and below
yeah, yeah.
in what is it, dominance hierarchies? I don't know.
Yeah, dominance hierarchy and stuff. So
Or status hierarchies, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of the thing is that a lot of women, like if they don't want to have a husband, a lot of that is like a choice. Like maybe like they're lesbians or they just like choose not to. But a lot of men are more involuntarily celibate. That's why they
Right.
incel the end is incel involuntarily. That's why you have the more frustration
Right,
with the incel. There's actually a
because
guy
it's not
named-
up to them.
Yeah, it's
really.
not up to them.
I mean, ish.
yeah,
That's
ish.
what they believe. I hope you enjoyed that clip of the HH podcast. If you want to see another clip, click here, down to your left. And if you want to see the whole unedited episode, click down here to your right. And last but not least, if you want to subscribe, you can do so here in the middle. Thank you.